In the primeval times, there were many phenomena that humans could not explain and were thus deified. For example, thunder and storms were attributed to the actions of gods in various cultures. Ancient people also believed that humanity originated from a divine creator, despite no one ever having seen this deity firsthand. Today, with advancements in science and technology, many mysteries once considered supernatural have been explained, gradually diminishing the perceived influence of divine beings. Yet, some events remain unanswered even today. Among these enduring mysteries are the stories written in the Christian Bible, which are filled with enigmas. Although modern scientists have sought evidence to either confirm or disprove these accounts, none of their findings have been conclusive. So, what are these mysteries? Let us explore 8 biblical enigmas that remain unsolved to this day. How Jesus Christ was born. The birth of Jesus Christ is one of the most significant events in Christian history, as recorded in the Gospels of Luke and Matthew. According to tradition, he was born in Bethlehem, in a manger, as his parents, Joseph and the Virgin Mary, sought refuge during their journey to register for the Roman census. The extraordinary aspect of his birth lies in the concept of the virgin birth. The Bible recounts that the Virgin Mary received a message from the angel Gabriel, announcing that she would conceive through the power of the Holy Spirit and give birth to a child named Jesus, destined to be the Messiah. This event, while a cornerstone of Christian belief, has sparked much debate in scientific and theological circles. The birth of Jesus is also associated with extraordinary natural phenomena. The Star of Bethlehem, which guided the Magi or wise men to his birthplace, has become a central symbol in Christian culture. However, whether this star was a real celestial event or a symbolic narrative remains a mystery. Astronomers have attempted to reconstruct the sky at the time of Christ's birth, exploring possibilities such as comets, supernovae, or planetary conjunctions, but the exact nature of the star remains unresolved. Another significant mystery concerns the precise timing of Jesus' birth. While Christmas is celebrated annually on December 25th, no historical evidence confirms this as his actual birth date. Some scholars suggest this date was chosen to coincide with the Roman pagan festival of Saturnalia, facilitating the spread of Christianity. Meanwhile, the Eastern Orthodox Church observes Christmas on January 7th, based on the Julian calendar. This discrepancy adds to the enigma surrounding Jesus' birth. The concept of the virgin birth, which defies natural science, also fuels debate. For believers, it signifies divine intervention and is not subject to scientific scrutiny. This event has inspired art, music, and literature for centuries, from Renaissance paintings depicting the Madonna and Child to timeless Christmas carols. The birth of Jesus is also tied to prophecies in the Old Testament. In the book of Isaiah, it is foretold that a virgin would bear a son named Emmanuel, meaning God is with us. For many Jews of the time, this prophecy signified the arrival of the Messiah. However, not all accepted Jesus as the Messiah, leading to the division between Judaism and Christianity. Another remarkable aspect of Jesus' birth is his humble beginnings. Despite being the Son of God, he was born into poverty and raised in a modest environment. This humility underscores his mission to connect with ordinary people and deliver a message of love and redemption for all, regardless of status or circumstance. The story of Jesus' birth is not just a religious narrative, but also a cultural icon. From films like The Nativity Story to traditional Christmas plays, this event continues to inspire and affirm faith in millions worldwide. However, for skeptics, it remains one of history's great mysteries, blending faith and tradition with unanswered questions. Underscore the resurrection of Jesus. The resurrection of Jesus Christ is the cornerstone of Christian theology, symbolizing victory over death and the promise of salvation. According to the Gospels, after his crucifixion and death, Jesus' body was placed in a tomb provided by Joseph of Arimathea. A large stone sealed the tomb, and guards were stationed to prevent tampering. Yet, on the 3rd day, the tomb was found empty, and Jesus appeared to his disciples, offering proof of his resurrection. He is said to have remained on earth for 40 days, teaching and guiding his disciples before ascending to heaven. This event has been the subject of intense debate. Christians view it as the ultimate miracle, affirming Jesus' divinity and mission. However, skeptics have proposed alternative theories, such as the theft of his body or the possibility that the resurrection accounts were symbolic rather than literal. Beyond the historical debates, the resurrection carries profound theological significance. It represents God's power to overcome sin and death, offering humanity hope for eternal life and reconciliation with God. This message is central to Christian faith and practice. Numerous theologians and archaeologists have sought to investigate the resurrection. Attempts to identify the location of Jesus' tomb and analyze historical records have yielded no definitive evidence to confirm or refute the event, leaving it among the greatest mysteries of faith. Underscore the existence of the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden, as described in the Bible, was the perfect paradise where God created the first humans, Adam and Eve. It was a place of beauty, harmony, and immortality until Adam and Eve disobeyed God by eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. After their fall, they were expelled from Eden, and the precise location of this garden became one of history's enduring enigmas. The Bible places Eden at the source of 4 rivers, 2 of which, the Tigris and Euphrates, are real rivers in the Middle East. Based on this description, many scholars have speculated that Eden might have been located in the region of Mesopotamia, often referred to as the cradle of civilization. However, the other 2 rivers, Pishon and Gin, remain unidentified, making the location speculative. Some theologians argue that the Garden of Eden is not a physical place but a symbolic representation of humanity's original relationship with God. Others suggest that if Eden existed, it might have been destroyed or hidden over time. Another intriguing theory is that Eden was not part of the earthly realm but a divine or supernatural dimension. This view is supported by the Bible's description of angels guarding Eden with flaming swords, suggesting it is beyond human reach. Despite extensive exploration and research, the existence of Eden remains unverified. This mystery continues to inspire philosophical, theological, and scientific debates, symbolizing humanity's quest for understanding and connection with the divine. Underscore the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail, the cup used by Jesus during the Last Supper, is one of the most enduring legends of Christian history. According to tradition, Jesus used this cup to bless wine, which he declared to be his blood, symbolizing the new covenant with humanity. After the crucifixion, the Grail was said to have been taken away, eventually disappearing and becoming a focal point of mystery and lore. Over the centuries, countless expeditions have been launched to locate the Grail. Some legends, like those of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, describe the Grail as a source of divine power and immortality. Others tie its whereabouts to places like England, Spain, or the Vatican. However, no conclusive evidence has ever been found. Beyond its historical intrigue, the Holy Grail holds deep symbolic meaning. It represents the spiritual quest for redemption and eternal life. Literature and popular culture, from Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code to films like Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, have kept the legend alive, blending historical curiosity with imaginative storytelling. Whether the Holy Grail is a real artifact or a metaphor for divine grace remains uncertain, ensuring its place as one of Christianity's greatest mysteries. Underscore Moses parting the Red Sea. The story of Moses parting the Red Sea to lead the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage is one of the Bible's most dramatic miracles. According to the book of Exodus, Moses raised his staff, and the waters of the sea divided, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry land. Once they were safe, the waters returned, destroying the pursuing Egyptian army. While many believers see this as a divine act, scientists have proposed natural explanations. One theory suggests that strong winds could temporarily push water aside in shallow areas, creating a passage. Experiments have shown that wind speeds of about 100 kilometers per hour might achieve such an effect. Archaeological efforts to find evidence of this event, such as ancient chariot wheels or human remains at the bottom of the Red Sea, have been inconclusive. Nonetheless, the story remains a powerful symbol of faith, deliverance, and God's protection symbolized blessing or closeness to the divine, rather than being a literal measure of time. Another perspective considers environmental and biological factors. Before the flood described in Genesis, the world was depicted as a paradise with ideal conditions. Some interpretations propose that a pristine environment, free from disease and pollution, could have contributed to longer lifespans. However, this idea remains speculative, as there is no scientific evidence to support such conditions. Additionally, some scholars hypothesize that ancient people may have used different methods for measuring time. For instance, a year could have represented a shorter cycle, such as a lunar month. If this were the case, the ages in the Bible would be significantly reduced. However, this theory has inconsistencies, as it conflicts with other chronological data in biblical narratives. The drastic reduction in lifespans after the flood is another element of the mystery. In Genesis, God states that human lifespans would be limited to 120 years, which aligns more closely with the maximum observed human lifespans today. This change is often interpreted as a divine response to humanity's increasing sinfulness. The longevity described in the Bible has also been linked to genealogical storytelling. By attributing extraordinary ages to ancestors, biblical writers may have sought to establish a sense of legacy and continuity, connecting present generations to their divine origins. While modern science cannot verify the lifespans recorded in the Bible, they remain a source of fascination and inspiration, whether understood as literal accounts, symbolic representations, or a blend of both. These ages highlight the Bible's enduring ability to provoke thought and wonder about the nature of life, time, and humanity's relationship with the divine. Underscore the truth behind Noah's Ark. The story of Noah's Ark is one of the most well-known and debated narratives in the Bible. According to the book of Genesis, God, displeased with the corruption and wickedness of humanity, decided to cleanse the earth with a great flood. Noah, described as a righteous and faithful man, was chosen to build an ark to save his family and a pair of every animal species. Following God's instructions, Noah constructed a massive wooden vessel, which became humanity's and nature's refuge during the deluge. The sheer scale of Noah's Ark, as described in the Bible, has sparked skepticism and fascination. The ark's dimensions are recorded as 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high, roughly translating to a length of 450 feet. Skeptics question whether a wooden structure of this size could have been built with the tools and technology available in Noah's time. Moreover, the logistics of housing and feeding thousands of animals for an extended period remain points of contention. Archaeological searches for evidence of Noah's Ark have been conducted for centuries, particularly on Mount Ararat in modern-day Turkey, where the Ark is said to have come to rest after the floodwaters receded. Numerous expeditions have claimed to find remnants of a large wooden structure, but none have provided definitive proof. The absence of verifiable evidence leaves the story of Noah's Ark in the realm of faith and legend. The flood itself raises questions about its scope and origin. Was it a global event, as some interpretations suggest, or a localized flood that was monumental in its impact? Geological studies have identified evidence of catastrophic flooding in regions such as Mesopotamia, lending credence to the possibility of a historical basis for the biblical account. However, the idea of a worldwide flood submerging every mountain and covering the entire earth remains scientifically implausible. The story of Noah's Ark also parallels flood myths from other cultures, such as the Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh. These similarities suggest that the biblical flood narrative may have been influenced by earlier stories, reflecting a shared cultural memory of a significant flood event. This connection raises intriguing questions about the origins and universality of flood legends. From a theological perspective, Noah's Ark symbolizes divine judgment, mercy, and renewal. The flood represents God's response to human sinfulness, while the ark signifies his provision for salvation and the preservation of life. The covenant established with Noah after the flood, marked by the rainbow, underscores themes of hope and restoration. The narrative of Noah's Ark continues to inspire and challenge readers, whether understood as a literal account, a symbolic story, or a fusion of historical and theological elements. It invites reflection on humanity's relationship with the divine, the natural world, and the consequences of moral failure. Underscore: did dinosaurs exist in the Bible? The question of whether dinosaurs are mentioned in the Bible has sparked curiosity and debate among theologians, scientists, and lay readers alike. Although the Bible does not explicitly use the term dinosaur, a word coined in the 19th century, some passages describe creatures that bear striking similarities to what we now understand as prehistoric reptiles. Two of the most notable examples are Leviathan and Behemoth, mentioned in the books of Job, Psalms, and Isaiah. Behemoth, described in Job 40 verses 15 to 24, is portrayed as a powerful, grass-eating creature with strong muscles, a tail like a cedar tree, and bones like bronze or iron. While some interpretations suggest that Behemoth could be an elephant or hippopotamus, critics point out that neither animal has a tail resembling a cedar. This discrepancy has led some to propose that Behemoth might represent a now extinct species, perhaps akin to a sauropod dinosaur. Leviathan, on the other hand, is depicted in Job 41 and Psalms 104 as a fearsome sea creature, breathing fire and impervious to human weapons. Traditional interpretations often equate Leviathan with crocodiles or mythological sea serpents. However, its fantastical traits, such as fire-breathing, have prompted alternative theories linking Leviathan to dragons or other legendary creatures. From a theological perspective, these descriptions may serve as symbolic representations of chaos and God's supreme power over creation. In ancient Near Eastern cultures, monstrous creatures often symbolize disorder, and their defeat by gods signified the establishment of order and authority. Within this context, Behemoth and Leviathan could be literary devices rather than references to actual animals. The potential existence of dinosaurs in the biblical narrative is further complicated by the timeline of creation. According to the Genesis account, God created all living creatures during the 6 days of creation, suggesting that humans and dinosaurs could have coexisted. Young Earth creationists often cite this timeline to argue that dinosaurs were part of the original creation and may have been wiped out by the Great Flood. Some even claim that dinosaur fossils were formed during the catastrophic events of the flood, explaining their burial and preservation in sedimentary rock. Conversely, scientific evidence places dinosaurs' extinction approximately 65 million years before humans appeared, creating a significant conflict with a literal interpretation of the Genesis timeline. To reconcile this, some theologians propose that the days in Genesis represent long epochs rather than 24-hour periods, allowing for the vast timescales required by evolutionary theory. This interpretation, known as the day-age theory, attempts to harmonize biblical accounts with geological and paleontological findings. Another fascinating aspect of this debate is the cultural and artistic influence of dinosaur-like creatures. Throughout history, many civilizations have depicted dragons and giant reptiles in their folklore and art. These depictions, found in China, Europe, and the Americas, have led some to speculate that humans may have encountered large reptiles in the past, potentially surviving remnants of the dinosaur era. However, no conclusive evidence supports this idea, and such theories often rely on anecdotal accounts or misinterpretations of fossils. Archaeological discoveries have also fueled speculation about the Bible's references to dinosaurs. For instance, the discovery of fossilized footprints resembling human and dinosaur tracks together has been cited as evidence of coexistence. However, most of these claims have been debunked or attributed to natural formations and hoaxes. Mainstream science maintains that dinosaurs and humans did not overlap in time. The discussion of dinosaurs in the Bible also extends to broader theological questions about God's creation and purpose. Why would God create such massive, awe-inspiring creatures only for them to go extinct long before humans appeared? Some argue that dinosaurs reflect God's creativity and majesty, serving as a testament to the diversity and complexity of life on Earth. Their extinction, in turn, highlights the transient nature of life and the ever-changing tapestry of creation. For many believers, The absence of direct references to dinosaurs in the Bible does not diminish their faith. Instead, it underscores the limitations of human understanding and the vastness of God's plan. The Bible's focus on humanity's relationship with God may simply leave out details about prehistoric life that were not essential to its spiritual message. Ultimately, the question of dinosaurs in the Bible invites reflection on the interplay between science and faith. While scientific evidence provides insights into the history of life on Earth, the Bible offers a spiritual perspective on creation and existence. Reconciling these viewpoints requires humility, curiosity, and an openness to explore the mysteries of both the natural world and divine revelation. What do you think? It's really interesting about these hidden documents. Or is it just an intellectual product? Please comment if you have a rich imagination. I know if you like the video, please choose for yourself a like and subscribe. Thank you to those who have followed.